Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I wanna say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given me healthy so that I can make this video. The Honorable, the Educator of Islamic Boarding School, Kiai Haji Muhammad Hasan Mutawakil Allah SIMM, Honorable Rector of UNZAH, Dr. Abdul Aziz Wahab BAMAG, and the Excellency Miss Raudatul Islam MPD as an English lecturer of Sociolinguistics. Let me introduce myself. My name is Chofifah. I am from English Education Department, Zainul Hasan Genggong Islamic University. The purpose I make this video is for completed my middle task of sociolinguistics. Here I will explain about lingua francas, pidgins, and creoles. First, lingua francas. A lingua francas is a language used for communication between people whose first language differ. So it means that the language used by people who have a different first language or lingua francas is also called an intermediate language. In essence, a lingua franca is not a mother tongue, but a language that people agree on or understand together in order to communicate. For example, English as an intermediate language used for people who communicate with outsiders. In Indonesia, Indonesian is also a lingua francas. And next, pidgins. Pidgins is a language which has no native speakers. Pidgins develop as a means of communication between people who do not have a common language. So, a pidgin is no one's native language. This means that there are no people who use the language since they were born. Pidgins are used as temporary communication needs, and pidgins are also included with simplified languages for certain purposes, not in all aspects of life. It's typically formed in situations like trade, colonization, or multi-ethnic work environments where people need to communicate but don't have a shared language. Because pidgins include simplified languages and for temporary communication needs, and no one has the same language, the characteristics of pidgins are first, simple grammar structure, second, limited vocabulary, and third, no native speakers. For example, Bazar Melayu. And the last, creoles. A creole is a pidgin which has acquired native speakers and has expanded in structure and vocabulary to express the range of meanings and serve the range of function. If a pidgin becomes stable over generation and starts being learned as a first language by children, it can develop into a creole. So, creoles are language produced by pidgins or can also be called developed languages. Characteristics of a creole: first, it has native speakers, unlike a pidgin. Second, its grammar and vocabulary are more complete and stable compared to a pidgin. Third, it usually originates from historical situations such as colonization, slavery, or migration, where various language groups come into contact. Last, its main vocabulary still largely comes from the source language or exifier, such as English, French, Portuguese, or Spanish. For example, Ambon Melayu or Melayu Ambon. I think enough from me. the explanation about lingua francas, pidgins, and creoles. If there are many mistakes, I apologize. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.